considers this a major. Can he deliver one here at the final hole?
I'm excited to once again be joined by Lou Stagner, our lead stats guy, as well as the assistant men's golf coach for Princeton University. Lou, how's it going? We got a lot of stats to talk about this month.
That's been a great month. Let's get into it.
I mean, how could we not talk about Keegan Bradley at the Travelers?
A Keegan comeback, not to be believed.
He finished it off with one heck of a putt, and to be honest, it wasn't just his putting where he finished third in strokes gained. It was also his stats around the green that really stood out. He finished 10th for the event.
To play or to captain, that'll be the question.
That will be the question.
The man is a machine.
Another player that had a lot of success this month, Scotty Scheffler, won the Memorial. And something that really stood out is the fact that he has now defended 27.3% of his previously won tournaments in 11 chances. That puts him in some pretty rare company.
Yeah, it puts him up there with Tiger Woods, who won just over a third of his events when he was defending. So Scotty at 27% is pretty solid. Good company to be in.
Anytime you're compared to Tiger Woods, and I feel like Scotty does it a lot, it's a good place to be. But, you know, Memorial is an extremely tough golf course, especially the closing stretch. And for Scotty, that closing stretch really helps separate him from the rest of the field.
He played really well over that tough closing stretch of holes. He finished 3 under on holes 16 to 18. The field was 2 over. He gained 5 shots on the field over the closing stretch, finishing 3 under with 3 birdies and 0 bogeys, tied for the best total on those holes.
It really comes down to the ball striking trifecta. He was second off the tee, second in approach to the greens, and second around the greens. I mean, you add those things up, there's not a lot of ways that someone's going to beat you out on the golf course.
Yeah, Scotty's such a great player tee to green, but this was only the second time in his career where he's ranked top 3 in all 3 of the non-putting strokes gained categories. Both of those coming at the Memorial.
That's a pretty good way to close out a tournament.
It shows how elite tee to green play can just carry you despite finishing 34th in strokes gained putting.
Speaking of tough finishes, or maybe we should just say entirely tough golf courses altogether, JJ Spaun won the US Open. And what makes it a very interesting win is he is the very first player in the ShotLink era to shoot 40 on the opening 9 and still go on to win.
Yeah, what a way to stay with it after that rocky start. And he capped it off with a birdie finish with a 64-foot bomb on the last hole that we all saw.
And it was really his strokes gained putting that was a complete standout for this event.
Yeah, he averaged over 2.5 strokes gained putting per round, the best of his career, and it was second in the field. He really won this event with some clutch putting.
Griffin for birdie.
Speaking of clutch putting, someone else who has done quite well recently is Ben Griffin. Now, he won at the Charles Schwab, and his second round 63 stood out not just for the score, but also the strokes gained total, which was a high for his career.
He gained nearly 7 shots in that round. That was his best round ever on the PGA Tour.
Now, we already talked about how Scotty Scheffler played so well during the closing stretch and the closing holes at Memorial. But for Ben Griffin, it was actually the opposite. He played the opening holes extremely strong, which really helped him separate from the field.
Yeah, he blitzed the opening holes. He was 10 under on holes 1 through 3 for the event, gaining nearly 8 strokes, best of the week. He picked up 6.5 shots tee to green and over a shot putting on the starting holes.
That's pretty insane when you compare the fact that you got 72 other holes that you have to really separate yourself, and he was able to do it on those first 3 holes. Now, an event that is close to my heart as a Canadian, we got to watch Ryan Fox win for just the second time in a pretty short span, his first and second victory. That really stands out because a lot of players don't win their first and second events this close together.
No, they really don't. And we always hear players talking about winning that second one to confirm that first win. And Ryan just had to wait 28 days to do that. And both of them came in a playoff. He became the 5th multiple winner on tour this season and the 8th player since 2003 whose first 2 wins were settled in a playoff.
Now, a big part of that, because of the playoff, and we got to witness it coming down the stretch, was his ball striking. TPC Toronto played extremely difficult, and he was able to separate himself with his approach play on especially those longer holes.
Yeah, 62% of his strokes gained came via approach play, posting 1.86 strokes gained approach per round. That's the best of his career. He was really hitting it well.
And a big part of gaining those strokes is because of proximity, right? The closer you hit it, the more likely you are to 2-putt or 1-putt. And overall, those add up. Those little percentages really add up to giving yourself more chances to score better.
Yeah, he led the field in proximity to the hole at 25 feet 4 inches and hit 81.9% of his greens in regulation. These are both personal bests in his career.
Now, speaking of the final hole, which we got to watch quite a few times during that playoff, he excelled playing that hole during the event. I mean, basically birding it every day.
He birdied the 18th hole in all 4 rounds, only the 3rd winner to do so since the start of last season.
It was an exciting finish. It might have taken a little longer than we wanted to, but as always, Lou, thanks for diving into the stats with us, and we'll chat again soon.
Thanks, Ryan.